So I don't know if I'm late to the party, but I just want to react to the viral video of two white men putting a MAGA hat and then went into Tennessee State University. Now that video is going viral on TikTok. I'm sure if you're on TikTok, you must have seen the videos, right? But it didn't go down well with the white men. I can't make this up. Stay with me. Let's see these videos, and of course, I'm going to show you some random comments. I just thought to react to this because it is trending on TikTok and a lot of people, especially black people, are weighing in. Check these videos out.
I'm gonna say it now just so y'all don't get this misconstrued. This is real life in real time. I go to Tennessee State University. There is a couple white men who decided it was okay to come on our campus on the president's lawn with MAGA hats and signs, which, wait, I'm going to show y'all a picture. This is them with cameras, chairs, a speaker, and other camera. Mind you, they have MAGA hats on. You see the hats, like, y'all see them. The people who care will understand that how dangerous this is for them to just walk on our campus. Black students, this is a HBCU. In broad daylight, they came around 3 p.m. People still have classes, still walking around trying to enjoy their day. And this is what y'all choose to come on our campuses and do. Mind you, if any black group decided to go do that at Vanderbilt or any other PWI, we would have been escorted off of their campus immediately, most likely. And it's actually getting to a point where it's sick. So I just want y'all to be aware, be safe, and be careful if you're either a student at Tennessee State or if you go to Tennessee State as a teacher, anything. They're not for us. They're not for us. They don't care for us. So please be safe, y'all. It's actually getting serious. And I'm low-key scared. I don't really like the even idea of any of this.
So Cam Higbee and his buddy have been going around the country from school to school to honor Charlie Kirk by doing something similar to he does. They've been propping up a table, putting something on a sign, and having people come up and so they can discuss it and talk and have a conversation. So they went to Tennessee State University, which is an HBCU, and within an hour it ended up like this. You can see this time lapse here. This first dude, very respectful, talking, and then all of a sudden it's a huge crowd, and then cops have to get involved, and then people just start harassing him just because they're sitting there with MAGA hats. Like, this is literally just them taking the signs or putting the signs down. Like, look. And he's like trying to fight him. Even when they were packing it up and leaving, they all just followed him off of campus. And then as he's driving away, they're all just harassing the shit out of him. Cops literally had to walk next to their cars to make sure they can make it off campus. All because they set up a table to have conversations with people. What kind of society are we in where we can't even have conversations? We get this emotional over someone having a sign in front of a table. And then it gets better. Afterwards, Tennessee State University put out a statement saying that their students conducted themselves in professional and respectful manner. Did any of that look professional and respectful? Then they doubled down by sending out an email saying that Cam and his buddy were a hostile group, and then saying they do recognize free speech. Yeah, that was clear. We need to be able to live in a society where we can talk about our differences and have conversations instead of acting all emotional and chasing people away for having different opinions. I respect Cam Higbee like crazy and his buddy for being able to go through all this and constantly do this from campus to campus.
He didn't know that TSU was an HBCU until the night before. He didn't know until they told him on campus.
There is nothing worse than a liar, because if you're a liar, you'll steal, you'll do everything. These guys knew that they were coming to Tennessee State University, which is a historically black college and university. They knew exactly what they were doing. Their goal was to agitate and antagonize those students. But what they did not think was going to happen is that they would be escorted off the campus because they tried to run roughshod. So now once the media has gotten a hold of this story, because this is a big story here in Nashville, and it has also made national rounds, especially protecting HBCUs. Now the next message is, well, we didn't know. We didn't know we were there. That is what is wrong with these people. You know, I had all kinds of comments from my previous video, and people were talking about, oh, well, you should be able to debate people, you know, just because you have differences, you should be able to debate. No, these people are liars, okay? They got caught up in their shit. And now it's a problem. They get on the local news and say, we didn't know. And that is some bullshit. They had the wrong intentions. They got caught up in their shit. And now you didn't know. But we don't forget.
You remember when I said that they weren't going to stop going to the HBCUs where our children are? I told you. Let me show you. So according to their own social media, it's called the Fearless Tour. And they actually took pictures and shared it on their social media. And it states, we're here at Tennessee State University in Nashville, the first HBCU that we're visiting on the Fearless Tour. Let's talk. And the image, DEI should be illegal. And they actually have a couple of @ so you can go ahead and follow those people, right? And then you also have deport all illegals. Now, let's talk. That's one of them. And they're just sitting there and they're posted up, right? Now, on the next one, you see a group of college students from Tennessee State actually going over to confront them and tell them they have to leave. So today, Fearless Debates, at Fearless Debates Tour, tabled at an HBCU, Tennessee State University, and after 10 minutes, a literal riot erupted. That is not what happened. I saw the video. They stole our stuff, followed us to our car, attacked the car, shouted Black Power, and blocked our exit to the campus. Our topic was DEI. Now, they also stated that they had security, which they had one security guard, all right? And they said that their security guard was absolutely incredible. They said, we definitely will need to ramp up security. Did you hear what I just said? We definitely will need to ramp up security for the future because, in bold letters, we're not stopping. Did you hear what I said? We're not stopping. If you feel inclined, it would mean a ton to our entire team, ... I'm not giving the rest of that information to you for those of you all who think that this shit is okay. Because if a group of our folks went over to your community, schools and colleges where it is a predominantly white institution, you would lose your mind. There is specific protocol that should be in place for this not to occur. Like, say, for instance, reaching out to the administration or being sponsored by one of the student organizations on campus and not just show up and post up the way that you decided to do and have a conversation, knowing full well that that's not why you are there. TSU actually made a statement on unauthorized campus activity. Did you see what I just said? Unauthorized. So a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice. In accordance with university policy, any demonstration or protest activity requires advance approval and permitting. Campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. The safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. TSU will continue to uphold university policies and ensure that campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community. Here's what I need y'all to know. They're not going to stop. I told you that yesterday when I first talked about this, when I learned of it and I watched the videos myself, and these students don't want to be bothered. They want to continue to be educated in the community known as Tennessee State University. But here's what I want you all to know. They're not going to stop. And since they're not going to stop, this should put all of us in our communities on alert. We need to be prepared for situations like this. If you have a student who is at a college, you need to make sure that you are reaching out to your HBCU colleges where your students are. Let me rephrase that, and get with the local administration there. This is a red alert. This is a problem. And if we are not careful, it will end up being something that they want to happen anyway. I need us as adults to get on our game, and we need to be reaching out to our communities and to local authorities. We also need to be reaching out to any legal folks that we know, anybody that is in the press, anyone that will listen. And I need you all to pay attention to where these folks are going to go next. Because if they're talking about they had one security and now they're going to have to beef up, baby, I'm telling you now, they're planning. This is strategy. This is a setup. And I need us to be ready. For more news and information that you can always use, head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and you guessed it, Brownstone Living Magazine.
We didn't know that TSU was an HBCU until the night before. He didn't.
Black people study their tricks. Study their tricks. You see what they're doing right now? Right now, they're spinning the narrative. Oh, poor white boys. We didn't know we was going to HBCU. We just stumbled upon an HBCU. And we were going there just to have civil educational conversation. But these animals drove us away. These animals kicked us off. These animals limited our freedom of speech. You went into a historical black college, right? To bother black folks, to agitate black students. You wanted this reaction, right? You just didn't expect for them to go as hard as they did and you getting kicked out of there. Even when they're lying, they're blatantly lying. But even when they're lying, listen to his words. We didn't know. He didn't know. So that means you knew. You came unsolicited. Nobody asked you to come there. And then you came there with racist rhetoric. What do you think is going to happen? I'm not going to lie to you. I learned some of my best tricks from white folks. Working in the office setting, I learned some of my best tricks. You know what I learned from a white man? He said, as long as it's hearsay, they can never fire you. I said, really? So I started going up to people whenever they had a problem with me. I said, I will punch you in the mouth. And the moment you bring me into HR, I'm going to act like I have no clue what you're talking about. Never had a problem in my job since. They're spinning a narrative. White victimization. They never got ahead in this country from doing things the right way. They always had to spin the narrative.
All right, settlers, I'm back, and I'm ready to have a lecture about your obsession with wanting to harm HBCUs. You know, the institutions that expose who's superior and who's inferior. I mean, we can all see that you love the bands. You steal the dances, you copy the swag, but you keep HBCU funding on life support while blowing money on PWIs where only 0 to 25% of the enrollment are graduating. It's clear that the colonizers don't want Black Americans to have their own institutions. They want Black brilliance funneled into their schools. See, they understand the intelligence that's within Black Americans, which is why there is such an effort to control just how many are allowed to obtain a degree, especially when the PWI enrollment and degree numbers are trending lower and lower each semester. And HBCUs are bursting at the seams. Literally record-breaking numbers for graduations and enrollment. Exhibit A. Tennessee State. The state itself just admitted to withholding $2.1 billion from its own HBCU. A calculated move to keep TSU struggling, to make their programs harder to run, to make their degree harder to get. So when the athletics are underfunded, where do the top recruits go? When the music programs suffer with low recruitment numbers due to an intentional low budget, how can we certify the next generation of great music educators? I mean, look at how dramatically the band has shrank in size. This is a Grammy award-winning HBCU program. Where does the next genius music producer go? They get scooped up. Their talent gets monetized. But the legacy, the community, the Black ownership, stolen. Another case of start your own, do your own thing. And when you do, you always attack with pettiness and jealousy, and the usual theft of resources and talent to create dependency, harming innocent young adults for absolutely no reason. A sick obsession with control. You're the only people competing. You're actually trying, and you're still losing to the Black Indigenous people of this land who are just existing and are still smoking you like a Newport. Just take the L.
So because we're not acting outraged enough for their liking, because they can't provoke us to really go crazy for real, because we're, for the most part, minding our business as Black Americans, they're now infiltrating our spaces to antagonize us, to poke the bear, essentially, so then we can do something radical or extreme when they enter our spaces, and now they can go, look, see, they're crazy, they're wrong, they need to be contained and controlled. Why are you entering an HBCU campus knowingly, acting like you didn't know, but you know? There's no way you go to a university and not know it's an HBCU. There's no way you step foot on a university's campus and not know what university's campus you're on. You knew where you were going. So I'm sure when you Googled it, searched it, put it on the map or whatever, you knew it was an HBCU. You seen some type of history. You didn't randomly pick that school for no reason wearing a... You didn't randomly pick that school to debate hot button topics that you know Black Americans have an opinion on or have an opposing opinion to you on. You know that most of us have an opposing opinion to you on that. And you went there to debate those things with signs that read the things you wanted to debate. You were going there to not only antagonize Black people, but Black students. You wanted to debate. But really, you didn't want to debate. You wanted to get people outraged. And you wanted hands to be thrown. You wanted something crazy to happen. You really wanted to go extreme as you possibly can. You're trying to poke the bear. You're trying to stoke the fire. They're trying to force something outrageous and crazy to happen in a way where they can still hide their hands and go, we don't know what happened. We don't know why they did this. They're constantly trying to poke the bear. They want a race war. They don't just want a race war to happen. They want it to happen, and they want it to be us that throws the first punch, that launches the first bomb. They want us to be the first ones to move so that they can have reason to close in on us. And I don't know what's next, but I highly doubt that this is the first thing of this kind that's going to happen. It's only going to escalate from here, or they're only going to attempt to escalate it from here. My advice, or not even necessarily advice, what I suggest for us is to continue to ignore them. Like, yeah, we can have our commentary like I'm doing right now on social media, but don't take it no further with them, because the thing is, that's what they want. They're trying to get us out of our bodies so they can have a reason to close in, have a reason to bust back, so to speak. It's really weird times we're living in. It's astonishing that in 2025, this is the type of stuff that we're experiencing and talking about and witnessing. It's kind of insane, but honestly, after Barack was president 2 times in a row, full 8 years, what did we expect them to do? They didn't like that. They despised that. This is their quote unquote revenge.
And let's just play that out, right? I might be solo on this, but let's just say Buddy was going on campus to provoke Black people. Let's just say he went on campus. He said, I'm going to wear this MAGA hat because I know I'm going to get a reaction out of them. And we just going to film it all. We're going to film all the Black people being violent like everybody say they are. And so confrontational. Let's just play that out. I feel like, me personally, I'm always somebody that want to beat the odds and beat the stereotype. So instead of acting a fool and giving him what he wanted, I would be the person to make sure that you're shocked and you didn't get what you wanted. So instead, you looking to provoke and you wanted a reaction out of everybody. Instead, you got a conversation. So now that you got a conversation, let's see if you post that. Let's see your real character, your true character. Let's see what your true intentions were coming on this campus. That's what I would be focusing on doing. Not running the man off campus, because what if you just proving him right? Like, you know what I mean? And he could have had great intentions to begin with, but I'm just playing it out. Let's say he did come on campus to provoke me. I would rather it go viral, because that's what they're looking for, this viral moment. Everybody got their phone out, kicking a white man off campus. I would rather go viral for thousands of Black people to be surrounding this white person and just having conversation. Educating him, right? That's all you want him to do, is know your perspective. That's what I would want. Because now I'm like, let's see if you post that. And if he do, great. But I'm just confused. Y'all talking about he came on campus to provoke us. Well, it seems like it worked, because you gave him exactly what he was looking for, if that's what his intentions were. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. It could just be me.
Beside me are some of the screenshots of comments I grabbed randomly so you guys can see other people's opinion. You can please pause to read if you want to. So the question that a lot of people are asking is this: why did they go to HBCU? Why? Now, from the statement that, I saw on TikTok from Tennessee State University, there was no prior notice that they were coming. How are they sure that y'all wanted to have a peaceful conversation like they said? Now, from the videos that we saw, where the men were being interviewed, they said that, I quote, "We didn't know that TSU was an HBCU until the night before." So you want to tell me that the school that you wanted to visit. You didn't research about the school. Okay. Seriously, I do not know what their intentions were. I do not know what they wanted to achieve. Obviously, the students were uncomfortable. I mean, who wouldn't be seeing two white men putting on MAGA hats, wanted to have some kind of conversations with the students? I just thought to react to this because it is trending and a lot of people, especially Black people, are not happy with the situation. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. I mean, this is what is trending. Again, I want to know your opinion on this. And thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, comment, and of course, come back for another one. I'm gonna see you all in my next one. Much love. Bye.